Hello world, and welcome to the first episode of Just Saying. I'm your host, Willie Dexter Harris, and I'm coming to you live from Shreveport, Louisiana. First of all, I want to just give you a little brief synopsis about myself. I am an entertainer. I own a promotions company, Dig Entertainment, which I throw events such as trail rides to concerts. I market and manage, artists and, try to get them to the level to where we can start, making a little noise and create a little excitement in the city, which was back there, back in the days of the Louisiana Hayride, which we lost to Nashville. But we'll talk about that at a later date. But I want to talk about right now, just to let you a little bit, about myself and what I'm all about. I am credited as being one of the founders of what is rap music or hip-hop music here in the city of Shreveport. It was 3 groups that started this, and this was around the time of 83, 84, and mind you, Rapper's Delight didn't hit until 1978. So we were going about less than 5 to 6 years after that in an unknown town with basically nothing going on but country music. But myself, which is Sir Jacques, I had a group called Sir Jacques and the Def Jam Crew, as well as some close friends of mine, Jazzy Jeff, Doc Cooley, shout out to you guys, man, Lakeside Rock, which was another one of the groups that was a part of that beginning, as well as a guy that we hadn't seen in a long time, but we will, Jeff and I and Cooley and I, we credit this guy as being a part of that beginning, and his name is Steve Cunty, and he was a part of the group that was called New Tech, and his mom, Miss C, was one of the first real Hollywood type managers based on what we see nowadays. She was doing that way back then. And that's why a lot of things that New Tech had going on was kind of different from what Jeff and I was doing, because we was pretty much grassroots, we gonna bring it. And our number one thing was, for all 3 of us, was we didn't have the studios, because nowadays you got studios in your backyard, in your grandma's bedroom, but nowadays, it's like that. But then we didn't have that, and nor did we have the money to finance it, because you're talking about 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old kids. So we did a lot of the stuff that they did back in the days, which was instrumentals. So we specialized in the show. When we performed, that's when you get a look at who we are and what we're all about. And that really is something that I kind of criticize the modern day entertainers, because they got the hit records, they got the #1 songs on Billboard, but they just walk out on stage, no practice, no preparation, and just sing the songs and charge you $60, $70 for the concert. That's not cool. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to spend that kind of money, you should see a performance. Usher, Beyonce, Jay-Z, 50 Cent, Eminem, Drake, Ice Cube. You're going to see concerts. You're not just going to see somebody walking out on stage and singing some songs and going out and collecting their money and going about their business. Okay, enough about that. This is one of the main topics that this show is going to be about. My show is going to be about entertainment, sports, and a little politics. And I'm going to kick it off with a little gossip about what I feel about this, situation with reality television. I am a reality television buff. My sister-in-law, we sits down, shout out Joanna, we sits down and we watches every single show from the Love and Hip Hops, Miami to New York to Hollywood to Atlanta. But as well as we'll watch the Braxton Family Values, we watch the Tamar events, we watch the Beauty Bar, we watch anything reality television. Me and my sister-in-law is very much a part of it. But one thing that I want to touch on is reality TV. People always say is fixed, it's fake, it's not real. Maybe it's not, but a lot of it is. Because one thing that I can touch on is that there are some messy women on reality television. From Tammy Rowland with the with the Basketball Wives, and I even little Shawnee. Shawnee is the sweetest little angel, man. I love her show. I love her as a woman. I love the way she deal with her children. I watched the Shawnee's Home Court, and she's an outstanding mother, hands down. But she messes hell too. You know what I'm saying? Because if you Tammy's friend and then you hang out with Evelyn, why would you go back and tell Evelyn what Tammy said, and why would you go back and tell Tammy what Evelyn said? These are both your friends. That means you're a friend that's supposed to stay in a neutral zone, which basically you just stay in your lane. You are not for either team. You're pro neither. They're both your friends. Therefore, you should stay out of that. But for the ratings, I understand you got to do what you got to do. Tammy Rowland criticizes Jen all the time for being one of the messiest women on the show. But Tammy is one of the messiest ones on the show, and she acts like the show actually belongs to her. Like, I was listening to her the other day when she was talking to Evelyn and Jen. If you want to be my friend, then you have to, do this or you have to do that. Oh, I mean, what makes you think it's so important to be your friend? You know what I'm saying? I mean, why is it that you think that what you're doing is that valuable to where somebody just want and just have to be a part of your life? That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's one thing that I kind of rubs me the wrong way with Tammy. And she always talk about fighting like she's such a bully. You have 2 daughters. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be the example of a mother, a queen figure. And every time I look around, you always talking about beating somebody up, hitting somebody in the mouth. And you got 2 beautiful daughters. It don't make no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. Jackie Christie, outstanding. You're getting yourself together. Perfect. I love that. You know what I'm saying? But you still got a couple of things that you need to get a little grip on as well, because you have a tendency to be kind of loose at the mouth as well and free up information that shouldn't be, you know what I'm saying, exposed. To be honest with you, the most sealed-lip person on that show is Evelyn. Maybe she got more stuff to hide, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, Evelyn don't too much expose her hand unless she's, making jokes or making light of Tammy, and that wasn't cool what she said about CC because she didn't know the woman. But they got it under control. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? So that's something else we're going to be dealing with. A lot of reality TV, we're going to deal with a lot of situations and subject matters like that. But we're also going to deal with sports. And this is something, look at me. I want y'all to look at me when I say this. Look at me when I say this. I am by far, I mean hands down. Now, my favorite basketball player of all time is the Black Mamba. Kobe Bryant for president. You know what I'm saying? Huge Kobe Bryant fan. I was an LA Laker fan, and I'm Team Louisiana. I'm a New Orleans Saints. I'm a LSU, Tech, Green Oak, Southern, Grambling, Booker T, Fapor, Southwood, Evangel, anything Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? But we didn't have the basketball team for a long period of time, so I was a Laker fan. So when we got the Hornets, of course I went on and I supported the Hornets with Chris Paul and, the other guys. And when the team changed over to the Pelicans, I'm 10 toes with Anthony Davis, the brow, feel the brow. You know what I'm saying? We all good, with New Orleans. But I just had such a love over so much of a period of time with the LA Lakers to where I made up in my mind that I wouldn't go official Team Louisiana in NBA until Mamba retired. And that's after Kobe Bryant retired a couple years ago. Now I'm full-fledged Louisiana everything. You know what I'm saying? And I say this because LeBron James does not play for a Louisiana team. But LeBron James is one of my favorite players, humanitarians, businessmen, you know what I'm saying, to come from where he came, to have the education background that he has, and to be under such a microscope and scrutiny that he's under, and to still be sane is remarkable for that young guy. I give him a shout out for that. I give him a shout out for, winning this, coming home to Cleveland to give them the championship, because when everybody left Cleveland and went to Miami, Team LeBron, I wasn't a LeBron James fan. I didn't think that was cool that he left and went to Miami. So I don't consider what he did anywhere near what Durant did, mind you, but at the same time, I just didn't want him to leave that town. because they had done so much for him, and that's was his hometown. And like I said, I'm a Louisiana guy, hometown guy, so you can understand where I'm coming from. But where I'm going with this is, you know right now you have a subpar team. You know that because you've had to carry them the whole second half of this season, as well as you had to carry them into the playoffs to get you guys to the final. Tell me, LeBron James, if you ever get to see this cast, or if any of his friends see this cast, ask LeBron this question. I never in a million years thought you'd choke. I never in a million years thought that I would see the man that when I identify you on Facebook, when I identify you on Instagram, when I identify you in public, I call you King James. Bron. You choked at a pivotal moment in a pivotal game, in a pivotal moment of your career, LeBron, and everybody saw you do it. You choked. And I never thought I'd say that about you, man. You saw that play. Kevin Durant was on fire the entire game. And I'm talking about game 3. The game that was just played this past Thursday. What was that, the 5th, 6th of June? The pick was a soft pick. It wasn't even a hard pick. But you just slid with the pick at a pivotal time of the game and let Rodney Hood take the responsibility of one of the hottest players in the game at that time, but one of the hottest players in the league, period. And you ran from him. You ran from him, and we saw you run from him, LeBron. You choked. You choked. It ain't no oops. It ain't no mistake. It wasn't no pick. That was a soft pick. You choked. And I'm very disappointed in that. And it doesn't take away from the fact that I'm still a LeBron James King fan. But man, you choked. And I just can't believe that those words are coming out of my mouth about you. Because, you know, you're legendary to me. And I just look at you like that, and I just feel that, you know, I never thought that would happen, but it did. Lastly, my show is going to be, I'll give you a little politics. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have guests that's going to come here on the show. You know, some of the guests you may know, some of the guests you may not know. But I'm going to have guests to come here and appear on the show, you know, periodically through, you know, this time period. And it's going to be a very interesting show. You're going to enjoy the show. And I'm going to always give you a political view toward the end of the show. I'll give you one now. Here in the city of Shreveport, if you Google us, if you Facebook us, it's a lot of ridiculous things going on. I don't want to call out any situations because I don't want to give any credit to any killers, and I'm not trying to make anybody immortal that on a type of level and that stoops to that point to do the things that, you know, a couple of these people have done here in this great city. And Shreveport is still a great city. You know, there's a lot of things happen in New York, a lot of things happen in LA, a lot of things happen in Florida. You know what I'm saying? So we're not gonna dwell on that. We're not gonna dwell on that. But at the same time, we had a situation where the Shreveport Police Department don't feel that they have the manpower to handle all of the stuff that's going on in the city as far as the crime and the robberies and the murders. And it's kind of ridiculous, and I kind of feel bad about that because, I mean, this is my hometown, and who wants their hometown to have a reputation like that? But it is what it is. So they called in support from the Cattle Parish Sheriff's Department. Cattle Parish Sheriff's Department came in a couple of weeks. I don't think that they organized exactly what they was trying to do, and they were just kind of flying blind on a rocket cycle, so to speak. And what ended up happening was the sheriff department is pulling back. They're not pulling out, but they're backing up because they're trying to figure out how are they going to be able to pay this extra manpower to get the sheriffs to patrol the inner city. Because mind you, in Shreveport, sheriffs patrol the outskirts, outside Cedar Grove area, outside the Cooper Road area, outside the Pines Road area, where the more crime-ridden areas here in the city, Queensboro, Moortown, Lakeside, Allendale, of course the bottom, Cedar Grove, inner Cedar Grove, sheriffs do not patrol in the inner city. So all these years has been strictly the responsibility of the Shreveport Police Department. And it seems to be getting a little overwhelming for them. So they called in some support from the sheriffs, and Sheriff Prater decided that, we need some funding to get this thing, up and going to where he can allow the extra manpower that he needs to make this thing happen. So they're calling on the governor and the state, legislation to come up with a budget to help finance this situation. And I can't say, what's my opinion on it, because I want to be, I don't want to choose sides at this time, because I really don't have a full understanding of what's exactly going on here. But as things go on and as more information I get, of course I'm going to bring it to you. And we're going to, get to the bottom of a lot of the things that's going on politically, not only here in Louisiana. I'm familiar with a lot of things that's going on throughout the country. So we're going to deal with a lot of those situations, and we're going to get to the bottom of a lot of those situations. And I think we're going to have an excellent show. I think we got an excellent format. And I'm looking forward to us seeing each other once a week. Let me say this too. I hear a lot of talk about Louisiana State University and the Alabama Crimson Tide and the things that's going on between the controversy between the two schools. And to me, there is no problem with those two universities, man. The situation is the entire state of Louisiana has a problem with Nick Saban. Nick, they feel he betrayed them. And until Nick retires from Alabama, until he decides that he wants to do something different or work again or some other entity, maybe the NFL, the state of Louisiana is going to have a problem with Alabama. Not the school. It's him. It's only him. We love you, the great state of Alabama. Shout out to the great state of Alabama. But we do have a serious problem with Nick Saban, and we will continue to have a problem with Nick Saban until he addresses the fact that why did he leave us to go to the NFL for 1 year to come back to one of our biggest competitors? That's a question that he never answered. And shout out to Coach Ogeron. I think Coach Ogeron is going to do a great job. The only thing that LSU needs right now is a quarterback. And we needed a quarterback for the past 3-4 years. We hadn't had a quarterback in years. And you can say, I can't even remember his name, from Oakland. He went to Oakland. Jamarcus Russell. We ain't had no quarterback when he was there either. For him to go number one in the draft, and it is beyond the LSU fans, because he was not in any way an asset, to the team. I guess he just stayed in his lane and did what he had to do. But that national title that we won with Coach Saban, he wasn't the quarterback. Matt Flynn was. And, that's a little FYI, but other than that, what I'm saying? I thank y'all for watching the show, man, and hope to see y'all next week. Until then, peace.